Hello, Flosstube. Thanks so much for joining me today. So this is Flosstube number 2 for the Enchanted Stitcher. I want to thank all of you that subscribed, commented, liked on my previous video. It really means a great deal. I'm so shocked about the response that I've had, although I know some people may not consider it significant. It was significant to me. So thank you very much, everyone, for your kind comments, your words, for your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a disorganized Flosstube. I did try to record this previously and it did not go well. So I will be doing a bit of a WIP parade, as well as some purchases sprinkled through, because I cannot hold to the you need to show it before you use it rule that some Flosstubers do. So excuse me for that. So we'll get started. So we'll start with my first 4 projects that I talked about on my last Flosstube, which I was going to try and focus on through the months of May and technically now June. I did want to record before this, but life just kind of got in the way. So I have some kind of big personal life and job changes coming, which will hopefully mean more time with my family and more time to do Flosstube. So that's a good news story for me, but it did make May and June a little bit scattered, shall we say. So I'll get started with my projects. So my first project that I focused on and I probably worked the most on was Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais with my needle and thread. So just as a little reminder, here's the pattern. And what did I complete on it? Show it right side up might help as well. So last time I had completed the border. So I did come down and I focused on the bottom half of the project and the gate, which I've started to put in. So I did complete the snow, the little pine trees, the steps, which I still have to backstitch, and part of the fence and gate. So that's coming along nicely. I'm really happy with the progress that I've made. I was much happier with the progress when I was looking at it from a month perspective instead of 2-month perspective, but still there's a lot of stitches there, so I'm very happy with how it's coming along. The second big project that I worked on was my HAED, and my goal was to get to 2% with it, which I did. So I'm very happy I got to 2%. I had started at, I think, 1.75 or somewhere around there. So I was able, I'm pretty much done the first page except for this kind of corner here. I did kind of go down past it a little bit already, which accounts for already having 2% done. So I'm very happy with that. I mean, I probably need to get more than, I don't know, 1% a year done if I ever want to finish this in my lifetime. And at a certain point, I will focus on it more. There's just other projects that are really clamoring for my attention at this point. One, that anniversary piece from my parents, and 2, even though I didn't touch it, which we'll talk about next, my Teresa Wentzler fantasy triptych. So I did not touch this at all. So I'll just show a quick little, sorry, technical difficulties here. I'll just throw a little reminder for people that want to see what it looks like. So nothing on the night panel. Maybe 30% of the center panel done, and the maiden panel is complete with backstitch. So yeah, no progress on that, unfortunately. It just really wasn't calling me. It's a bit fussy, and after working on the HAED with all the color changes there and like kind of the cross-country stitching I was doing there, I really didn't feel up to doing what is pretty much another full coverage piece at that time. Thirdly, I worked on The Dreamer by Mirabilia and Nora. So again, focusing on the bottom of her dress. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. We're just doing the folds of her dress, so working up the side there a little bit. And it's fun to stitch. It's kind of mindless stitching compared to some of the other projects that I do. It's kind of interesting when you compare the technical. I'm sure it'll be different when I get into the beading and maybe some of the one-to-one over skin. It'll be, I'm sure, much more challenging. But just where I'm doing right now, it's big blocks of color, which is sometimes what you want, which is very nice. So I am enjoying it when I work on it. What else did I work on? So I did pull this project out. This is Sweetest Pie by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So back at the beginning of the year, I had this great idea that I would follow the original path that this pattern had took when it was released, which was as a pattern, like a mystery sal. And I would I completed the border last year, and that I would complete a piece of pie a month and then bake the corresponding recipe, which they give you with the pattern, because I love to bake as well. So that was the original thought. But my family and I unfortunately got COVID in January, so those plans got very much derailed. So what I did is I just actually came back and I finished this lovely slice of lemon meringue pie, although I still have to do the back stitching on it. So you can't see the cute little squishy eyeballs it's making as it's a sour kind of face. And I just came in and put in the pie plate for the next pie. So I would like to finish that in July, maybe try and get back on track of doing a pie piece a month. They're not huge, but it might get something that gets put on the back burner until after I finish the anniversary piece for my parents. So I did work on that a little bit. What else did I work on? I picked up an old start. So Summer Quakers by, I always forget the name, Karen Kubla, Rosewood Manor, Summer Quakers. Beautiful, love the series. I'm a sucker for a seasonal pattern. So that was definitely going to be picked up by me as soon as I saw them. So I had originally started it with the Called For. This is the first one of the series that I'm actually working on. I do have 3 of them. And I would like to kind of start them on each solstice or equinox, as it were. So I did have this start from last year. I had started this last summer, but I just didn't enjoy the 3-ply Valdani threads in the little balls. I don't really like this color fabric, to be honest with you. The truffle by Picture This Plus, it's just not as bright as what I saw actually on the cover of this pattern. So I didn't stitch on it just because I wasn't enjoying the thread. I didn't like the fabric. Picture This Plus, and the Picture This Plus linen is not my favorite linen. They do have some gorgeous colorlit ways. I just find it's extremely tight. Basically your 28 almost becomes a 30 or a 32 depending, and then your 32 goes up to 34 or 36, and I don't enjoy stitching with 2 strands on 36 count. So this, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm still going to keep the pattern because I want to stitch it, and I have restarted, which I'll show you in a moment. So I might try to unload this on a stash unload group just with the threads, my small start, and the fabric, and see if anybody is interested. So I restarted it, and I restarted it on a very similar but brighter linen. This is a 28 count linen from Dyeing for cross stitch. It is the color Dreamscape, and it's got these beautiful purples and like peachy pinks and even like brighter pinks, which aren't really showing up. It's showing up more peachy, but there's some really lovely bright pinks and purples in this fabric. So I think it will suit better what I want the outcome to be for this piece, for my personal taste. So I did keep the flosses the same, except for one color, but I switched to the stranded floss as opposed to the ball, the 3-ply. So I'm doing that 2/2. And the only one I couldn't get in the stranded floss was the Violet de Parma. So I substituted with Weeks Dye Works Blackberry. It's pretty close. So that's been fun to start. I do enjoy stitching on this more now with that change in fabric and the change in threads. The 3-stranded threads are not for me personally. I know a lot of people really enjoy them and love them, but it's just not something I enjoyed stitching with. Alrighty, so that's pretty much everything I touched and my focus pieces from last Flosstube video. So I do have a few other WIPs I'm going to show you. So this is my second oldest WIP. And this is a Joan Elliot. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I lied. This is my second oldest WIP. So this is a Joan Elliot, and this is Lady Grace. So I have quite a significant chunk of this done. I'll just quickly show you. It's from this really gorgeous book by Joan Elliot. I think it's very widely available, although it is out of print. It shouldn't be hard to find on the secondary market. But there's a lot of like really beautiful, I'll try not to show the pattern, sorry. These really beautiful smalls in here. There's some bigger patterns like the ladies. There's these like little treasures for boxes, which are very, very cute. So there's definitely a good variety of patterns in here. So this is Lady Grace that I'm working on. I have made some changes to her. I didn't like just how her hair was formally up, but not. Where traditionally, I believe, it would have been formally up all the way. So I'm making this change here and removing her hair that's hanging down, so it will just be the formal updo in her hair. I love the style of this. It's very Art Deco. So I love the colors in this. I'm a big sucker for turquoise and yellow. So that's kind of what drew me to this. And the flowers as well in her kimono is just beautiful. And her obi as well. Just love it. So that is Lady Grace. And I have a good chunk done. But I really hate the fabric on this. So it's something I can stitch on for a little bit and then I have to put it away. So I'd like to get your input, and this is the first of many inputs I'll be asking for today. Not many, but a few. Of should I restart it given the work that I might have done, or do I just suck it up and stitch on it, although I do avoid stitching on it. And this project is a lovely bag by Craft and Chris, which I got in my March retreat, which is the Hidden Stitchers retreat, and the colors just kind of suit it. And it's a beautifully made bag. Her bags are all impeccably made, just great quality. I love her cute little dog zipper pull, and yeah. Oh, you don't want to see the back of my work. It's not that nice. Alrighty, so moving on down the road. Okay, so this is 22 Balloons from Barbara Anna. I had started this last year on my birthday. I don't have a picture because I did buy the kit. It doesn't come with a picture really. There's just like a little tag, which is in my craft room. But this is just a very small start I had on it. Again, I'm really not enjoying this fabric. I'm not a big fan of the color. And it's a little bit floppier or thicker than I like my linen. It's almost more like a Monaco. It is an even weave of some sort. So I have another poll question for you. I have two other colors that I'm considering. I'm going to restart this, which I might do it on my birthday again, because I didn't really do anything with it last year. So this is color 1, and this is an Under the Sea fabric. Again, I think everything will show up really well on here. I won't have to make any real substitutions. Maybe this one, but I'll just have to see how it plays out. So this is option number 1. And then this is option number 2. Both of these are 28 count linens, by the way. And this is from Dyeing for Cross Stitch Kathy. Sorry, just so you can see it. The only thing I'm worried about this one is this blue here. I'd probably have to either darken it or lighten it, just because I'm not sure how it's going to show up, because it's pretty much the same color as the fabric. So I'm afraid it'll get lost. So that one is the one I probably would have to change. I mean, in real life, it's probably a little bit more green, like a pale greeny blue, as to like a pale blue, but I'm just worried that it'll get lost on the fabric. So if you wouldn't mind letting me know in the comments which color you like better by July 18th, preferably, which is my birthday. So color A or color B? Color A or color B? Thanks so much. Really appreciate the input and the feedback. And hopefully everyone enjoys a good poll. Alrighty, so that is that one. The last WIP that I have, oh, it's not actually. I have one over in my stitching spot that I was going to work on yesterday, which I did not. So this is Sugar Cookies by Cross-Eyed Cricket. I no longer have my original because my son destroyed it. That's my mom face. So I do have my working copy, thankfully, but I no longer have my original. I really should be making working copies for more of my patterns. I have working copies for Fantasy Triptych. My HAED is electronic. A lot of my patterns are electronic. My Mirabilia has a working copy. Most of my patterns are electronic, but I haven't either scanned or copied my Winter Rose Manor or Summer Quakers yet, which is probably something I should do given my track history with damaging patterns and now my son following in my footsteps. Alrighty. So that's it for cross stitch WIPs. So let me know what you guys think about those kind of two questions I had. I'm also looking at my birthday start, so do I pick something entirely new? Or do I, oh, my apologies. Well, hold on one second. Hi, we're back. Sorry about that. I have one more WIP. My only piece of Halloween stitching right now, and it's Dracula's Confession by Lindy Stitches. I do have a working copy for that. And all I have is this very small start that I had at the Hidden Stitchers Retreat back in March. So I definitely want to work on that more. I definitely won't be finished by this Halloween, but maybe next Halloween. And this is on a 28 count Dyeing for Cross Stitch Even Weave, which was a flaw piece, no name or color. And then my knitting WIP, I thought I'd just share my knitting WIP, although you might just want to skip ahead a few minutes. So I'm actually coming to the end on my current knitting WIP. So this is a sweater by Tin Can Knits, and this is the Ironheart sweater. So I'm having a hard time putting it all in frame, so I'm just doing the yoke right now. It's a lacework yoke. There's also a tiny little bit of lacework on one of the sleeves with a heart. But this is a Malabrigo Arroyo. I'm forgetting the name. Sand dune, something like that. But I just wanted this as a nice neutral kind of piece that I could wear with jeans or whatnot. This is actually my first sweater, so wish me luck. I have tried it on with some cord, so it does look like it's maybe a little bit tighter than I wanted, but because I wanted kind of an oversized relaxed sweater. Look, it's still relaxed, but it's definitely more fitted than I was planning. So my other piece of haul, so the Dreamscape fabric I bought from Dying for Cross Stitch, that was haul. This lovely bag that I have my sugar cookie pattern in was haul. And this bag, I bought the bag of the month from Stitch Toolbox as well. I absolutely love strawberries. I make strawberry jam every year. So this was the bag of the month this year. So very cute, very vintagey, love that. So that's about it. Yeah, so thanks for joining me. A little bit quicker than my last video. I didn't have Stitch North to talk about. So busy summer. I have to really get started on Winter Rose Manor if I'm going to finish it for November. So that's probably where I'll be focusing my energies for the month of July, except for my birthday start. So poll questions just at the end. So those two colors of fabric, if you liked fabric A or fabric B, if you could let me know below. As well for my birthday start, which is July 18th. Should I restart 22 balloons? Or should I start something new? I'm thinking a Teresa Wentzler Dragon. Although that'll put 2 Teresa Wentzlers on my plate and I probably won't finish either of them right away. So something to think about. Yeah, so just let me know below. I hope everyone is having a wonderful summer so far. The weather here is beautiful today. I think it's about 24 degrees, sunny with a little bit of a light breeze. For those of you that are Celsius people, I'm not exactly sure what the Fahrenheit conversion is, but it's a beautiful day outside, so I'm probably going to go out and stitch for a little bit. I have some laundry to do too, which is extremely exciting. But thanks so much for popping in and joining me. And again, thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, follows. I really appreciate it. And if you liked what you saw, please come back and join me again. I hope it won't be this long before my next video. So thanks so much and have a wonderful day.